Thank y'all all very much for being here today. If you live in North Mississippi long enough, you know that Tupelo has a real history and a reputation for being a very civic-minded community, and we're grateful to be able to be here today. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Les Green. I'm a high school math teacher from Hernando. A husband and a father of 3. Caleb, Elizabeth, and Christian are here today. My wife Christy's here. When I was doing our first speech, I was going over with it with my family, and my little girl came up to me at the end and she said, "But Daddy, you didn't mention my name." So I just want y'all to know that I mentioned my little girl's name, and she's right over there. I'm hopeful as you get to know me and what I stand for, that you'll be energized. Regardless of who you support, I thank you for being here today, for your willingness to engage in the process, to give of your time, talents, and resources so your community can be a better place. A place that you and your children can be proud of. And really, that's what we're running on. The belief that people like you can make this country great again. That you can make a difference for your children and for your grandchildren. So they will have the opportunity to live out the hopes and dreams, free from oppression, and I said oppression, which is an unjust or cruel exercise of authority or power. And that is what our government has become. And make no mistake, it is an oppressive government, willing to sell our national sovereignty to the highest bidder. It has robbed our children and our grandchildren of their inheritance by continuing to spend and borrow to the tune of $13 trillion. $1+ trillion in deficit spending this year, with more of the same next year. There is no longer time to put off the tough choices. I'm promising you that I will not back down. When others talk of gradually reducing the deficit, you may even hear that overspending trillions is a good thing for America, or that the new health care bill will reduce the deficit. But I know that you are not fooled by political double talk. I may be a simple math teacher, but I can do the math, and it does not add up. We must demand a balanced budget, and we must demand it now. Do you know what the opposite of oppression is? I do now. The opposite of oppression is justice, and the definition of justice is being fair and conforming to the truth. We must demand justice. We must demand that truth and integrity be at the center of what Congress does. We must elect representatives who will stand up for these principles and stand up for you. These are some of the reasons that I'm running as an independent, so I can be an independent voice. Yeah, thank you. Whose sole concern is the good of our state and nation, free from the influence of lobbyists and competing interests that have clouded the governing process and robbed us of sound legislation. Thank you. Stand with me as we say no to career politicians. Send the message that we believe an ordinary guy still has a place in this process. That one man can make a difference. Today, I humbly ask you to consider me for the job as your United States representative. From the beginning, I have vowed that if I am fortunate enough to be elected, that I will only serve 3 terms. 6 years, short enough to keep me focused on serving you in this country, and long enough to make a difference. We don't need term limits if we have politicians with integrity. Then I'll come home and encourage one of you to step up and run. William Faulkner once said, "The man who removes a mountain begins by carrying away small stones." And he was right. We must begin We must not lose hope. This year can be the beginning of a change in direction, one that takes us back to the place that our forefathers, a place of truth, integrity, and sacrifice, found in the Constitution of the United States of America, found in the lives of hardworking individual Americans all across this state and nation. I know you believe these things, and so do I. I believe that we can rebuild our country with these foundational principles and pave the way for the next generation. We must do it now. I'm asking you to join me and let Washington know that we are willing to sacrifice even more to get America back on track. Americans sacrifice, and Mississippians are no exception. Year after year, Mississippi is listed as the most giving state in a nation that is the most giving in the history of the world, even in these tough economic times. All this shows me that Mississippi are uniquely positioned to be front and center in the battle and are ready to lead in the rebuilding of our foundations so future generations can prosper and live out their God-given hopes and dreams. Please hear this. It is central to the message I am delivering. It will take a great deal more sacrifice from each one of us. It will take us investing even more in the lives of the people around us. We must reach out and help each other, or we will fail. To make it through, we must be able to pick each other up when the times get tough. This can be the moment that future generations look back on with gratitude at what we accomplished here in the 1st District of Mississippi. In closing, I would like to say that no one man has all the answers, but we serve a God who does, and He can lead us step by step to the place that He wants us to go, to live out the hopes and dreams He has for our nation. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for what you do for America. May God bless you and your families, and may we bless God by the future choices we make. Thank you.